All right, it's all, excuse me, this is the time you've all been waiting for at home. I know you enjoy watching my lovely voice and Mr. Vendetta here to my left, excuse me, to my left. But it is time to finally get into these matchups. We've got two exciting doubleheaders tonight, one more so than others. We do have Immortals playing Complexity tonight, which is going to be, I think, the highlight.
Yeah, I think so as well. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not Complexity are going to have any sort of improvement towards their, towards their lineup with Slemmy in the roster for a bit of a longer period of time. And obviously, Immortals, as we mentioned earlier, on that 9-1 run, if they can, extend that and basically solidify themselves as a second-best team in Pro League, standing-wise.
In all reality, if we do look up at this the scheduling right here, this should be an easy 2-0 for Misfits.
It definitely should. Again, for those who don't know, Winterfox are currently in the wrong region. They're currently in Australia right now, which is not where you want to be.
It gives a new definition to the term region locked, right?
Yeah, no, it definitely does. So they've had a bit of a rough go about it, and I think even if you put both teams, on equal terms, I think Misfits still would be favored to win this matchup, and this obviously just kind of shoves everything over to their favor.
Well, our first matchup of the night is going to be that Immortals Complexity. Immortals being that sort of dominant force here in this bout for sure, if not across all of the North American landscape. But we do have Bolts, Henny, Lucas, Steel, and FNX coming in as your clear favorites, I do believe, for this matchup against Complexity. But, in all reality, I mean, we do have a chance of seeing a new Complexity tonight.
We do, but it's going to have to be something, borderline and revolutionary, I guess, if they're going to have a big shot at actually doing anything to this Immortals lineup.
Well, when we talk about this Immortals lineup, you can't just dismiss this beating they put down when they literally laid down the foundation.
Oh yeah.
What was it, last week?
It was last week. Yeah, they laid it down, found cracks in the foundation. They
probably made some new cracks in that foundation.
Yeah.
Just looking at the DAR or the ADR across the board, like these guys tore it up. Oh
yeah, absolutely. And again, I think we led up to that week, highlighting Lucas as one of the players. Somewhat surprising is the one to top the ADR stat for Immortals. Normally you'd expect someone like Henny, FNX, or Bulls, pretty much anyone except for Lucas, really, to do well there. But he's kind of been their standout performer in that sense, and he just followed that up against versus the Foundation as well. 127 ADR, which is absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, you're looking at it right there. Yeah, it's 10-0 in our view of it, right? So like,
and it didn't get much better for the Foundation, really.
What was that? I think 16-2 is all that.
Exactly. So yeah, Immortals were just having a fun time all around. You can see FNX and Henny also, not too far behind with 110 and 108 ADR. So I guess a bit of a stat padding game in that sense, but they're definitely starting to hit their stride and firing on all cylinders. And we talk about it so often with this lineup as well. There's so much firepower to take from that team, and I think we got a pretty good showcase of it that week.
Yes, indeed we did. Let's take a look now at this Complexity lineup as we do pull it up here in front of you. We've got Surreal, we've got Depp, Android, and you're going to note Slimmy and Desi. Now, with Slimmy, the most recent addition to this team, I should say. I mean, there's had several additions here.
It's been a couple.
But Slimmy perhaps able to bring that sort of leadership that they need, that they've been lacking.
Yeah, in many ways, I think actually Slimmy is the last bastion of hope for Complexity and their venture with this core of CS players, because yeah, we've seen them in the past. They haven't been structured. They haven't really had a lot to work off of. They just do silly mistake. And I think if there's going to be an in-game leader to kind of right that wrong, as of right now, it's going to have to be Slim. If they're not able to get any sort of results from this, if they're not able to produce any sort of progress, then I think you kind of just have to hit the reset button, start fresh, and basically go and do it all over again with new players, because yeah, you're not going to have a better equipped in-game leader that's available, at least, to make something work with this lineup.
Now, we talk about it time and time again about the importance of separating yourself from the pack. With the 2-0 tonight, Immortals will move up considerably in the rankings. So this is very much an important matchup for them.
It definitely is. And again, it's also one of those matchups where they are favored, so you would expect them to grab a 2-0. And if you're a team like Immortals, and again, for you, you're not really concerned whether or not you're making it to the playoffs, because that's pretty much a guarantee in your head. For you, it's more about actually positioning yourself well so you can get a good seed going into the playoffs. And I think that's, as you said, if they win 2-0 here, they're going to climb up to that second spot. And I think that's where they want to find themselves when the season ends.
Now, we're going to be seeing them on Inferno Mirage tonight, but not before we get into this Misfits and Winterfox. I guess we'll call it a matchup. It's seemingly a little bit lopsided.
Global matchup.
But only because of the circumstances at hand, right?
It definitely plays a big part to it.
Okay, we won't sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
In all reality, Winterfox not having a great season. Misfits struggling to find that sort of, not drive, it's struggling to find that sort of trajectory that they'd been aiming for. Now we do see them come in with a lineup change. It's just all-encompassing, just a weird matchup.
Yeah, it's just straight up weird. Obviously, Misfits debuting with their two French players. As you can see, Amanek and Davidovec in that lineup right there. Not even going to try to pronounce David's last name.
You won't try to.
No, God, no. But yeah, the core of Sean Garrett, Shazam, and Six still there, but it's going to be interesting to see. Again, we've seen the two Frenchies play a couple of tournaments online, but in terms of what they've done offline and what they've done against better opponents, yet to be seen. So I think this is going to be a decent testing grounds for them in a lot of ways. But again, there's so many asterisks around this with the situation that Winterfox find themselves in. Now,
with these French players, what do we know about them? Because I think there's probably a lot of people at home that are just sort of like,
what are these random characters?
Who are these guys?
Yeah.
But there's French people in Misfits now. What's going on here?
And that's fair. But I guess most people probably heard about Davidovec as he was a member of Envious for about 4 days before Scream decided that he wanted to play with Envious.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad highlight of your career in that sense. But for the better part, he played with Amanek in a team called Vexed, as you can see in the highlights right here. And they've been very solid individual players. As you can see, there's nothing wrong with their aim by any means. But they've definitely had, a higher success rate in online games in Tier 3 tournaments in Europe and so on than they have at offline tournaments. So even though they've grabbed a couple of games, a couple of maps here and there versus better opponents, we haven't really seen like a ton of consistency from them. And when I saw them play at Assembly at the start of February, they did not look impressive at all. They ran out in group stages. Davidovec had a terrible event, but then again, it could be a one-off, could just be nerves and that kind of stuff coming into play. But yeah, I'm not sure if I would, raise my hopes really for Misfits all that high, but it's going to be interesting to see how they work, especially, having to listen to guys going to be calling it English, which, it's going to be new for them as well.
Well, as long as they don't have to have Peacemaker stand in, then I think they should be.
That's probably an improvement.
Just be smooth sailing all throughout. Let's take a look at that that Winterfox lineup now that is really got a tall task in front of them.
Yeah, a massive task, and often you imagine Susie, APOC, and Raz. They're going to have their work cut out for them. So I guess one of the benefits, they're one of the few teams that we can actually say haven't made a roster change mid-season anymore. So kudos to them for sticking it together. But yeah, again, being in Australia, having to play with obviously a massive pig disadvantage, it's going to be pretty tough going up against a team that I normally would favor against them anyway.
Right. So it's just a double tall order of nope.
Yeah, pretty much a double tall order of nope.
Well, I mean, they're most definitely in a bad situation all around. And you can hope for them, but at the end of the day, I think that the odds are just too much against their favor.
I think that's you have to be honest about it. Obviously, if they had been at even at an even keel, even terms, then probably you could have been like, yeah, Winterfox might have a shot at this, but I don't think that's realistic to go into this match expecting anything but a 2-0 win for Misfits.
Well, standing by, we do have Eric de Beer Stromberg, who has a little bit of Inferno from the Misfits.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to another Stromberg Strategies. We're going to take a look at Misfits and Sean Garrett's style of play on Inferno. I was on a main team with him a long time ago when I was washed up, but you know what? He's a great guy. He's doing good. Hopefully, they can pick up from their losses of 2 players. Anyways, back to the strat here. One thing that I liked about this is that Sean Garrett's, or Misfits in general, they take things slow, methodical. We know this. But I want to break it down just a little bit more. They're nading spots. They're making sure no one's on their porch. They're baiting nades. They're baiting smokes. And the point for this kind of like slow, weird, say, little utility used to in the middle is to bait nades, to bait utilities, to get information. And this allows Shazam to peek in the corners, all right? Because if you throw like only a smoke and flash, it kind of makes the CTs think like, hey, is it a fake? Are they even middle? Let's re-peek it. But Shazam, he's in positions to do that. And after the smoke clears the middle, they get up, they pushed back Luminosity with that flashbang. Unfortunate for Showtime that he peeked at just the wrong time. But this allows Misfits to kind of snowball it through, and boom, almost dies to PK or to Pickle, but Relics, you're going to be missed. You saved them, and they come through here. You pause right here. So this is the other part of their strat. A lot of teams, if you do like a split from Halls or Porch and you wrap at the same time, you notice that the Halls people have not came out of the Halls yet. There's a reason for this. When they wrapped around the small pit, they didn't see anyone in pit. They didn't see anyone peeking in the bomb site. So it shows one thing, that they're hiding. They're trying to hold the angles, either it's inside or pit for the Halls guys. So the Halls guys cannot come out, because when you come out of the Halls, there's too many spots to look at. So with them able to spot this early, no one's peeking them, let them get contact first, and then as soon as they get contact, as you hit resume, the people in the Halls will start coming out, all right? And then Shazam, after the kills, let's watch our back, let's get in position. And even though it's a 4-on-1 right here, good post-plant positioning. Don't lose guns. Play it smart. You have all the angles covered. Make it easy. Keep it simple. You don't have anything fancy. So something to take away from this is that slow, methodical bait nades. As you see, they went slow. There's a reason for that, because then later in the round before that, they could fall back to B. They could take over A. It's the world is their oyster. And Shazam, good luck with that op, my friend. Back to you.
Good luck with that op, indeed, trying to hit someone with 180 pings.
Yeah. It should actually be interesting, because with how, the netcodes, etc. work in CSGO, that could actually be a bit of an issue for them at times.
Well, we talk about the netcode. Let's bring in our commentators now. Blue and Dazed are standing by. How big of a pulverizing just smash could this possibly be, Sam?
Oh, I mean, I don't think Misfits should lose more than like 5-6 rounds here. I think throughout the game, they're going to know that they're going to win it pretty easily. It's just, I mean, it's like so difficult to rifle with that type of ping. You could op pretty decently, but rifling is just, it's just a joke. So Misfits should crush them.
No, absolutely. I think is the plan from at least the spectator point of view. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're jumping right into the action. So make sure you don't go anywhere.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Legion Lenovo, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
What's going on, boys? It's your boy Blue here. I think I did that wrong, but valiant attempt at it, yeah?
It was decent.
Great.
It was decent. If you guys really want to see how that goes, you can check out my YouTube. It was in the lower third below www.
You just have that there all the time now, don't you?
Yeah.
You fully switched it out.
I'm still trying to get yours to actually just be my YouTube. I'm trying to.
Yeah, you gotta buy that out.
I know. I gotta get the gold package apparently.
Well, it is gonna be here.
Vendetta and Senna said for theirs I need the platinum package. Like crazy prices. You were pretty cheap.
Yeah,
to
well,
get your lower third.
You know, it's the way it works around here.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to be moving into Inferno for our first map of the day. Winterfox taking on Misfits, debuting their 2 new French players who have, actually, again, for those people who don't know, I was looking into it the other day. This is 2 French players that actually have worked together quite a bit, actually, over the past, 12 months. It seems like they pretty much have stuck together throughout the same teams, and these players have really only been...
So they're a duo.
Yeah, essentially, and they've really only been in the scene, as far as I could tell. Amanek playing on teams around like late 2015, around like Cluj-Napoca was trying to qualify for the major there. It was like the first tournament I could find that he played in. And then Devo Duvek started playing a little bit towards more earlier 2016, but ever since then, they both pretty much have been synced together on almost the same teams for the entire time. So,
I see.
So they've been together for a while. We can hope that with that, at the very least, we won't have too awkward of a synergy problem between those two. The more awkward part is obviously going to be syncing them into whatever the overall strategy is going to be here for Misfits. Thankfully, it's not too hard of a match as they're going up against a bunch of Kiwis and Australians that are playing with 200 ping for the most part.
Yeah, I wonder where the server is actually going to be located, because if it's...
Probably just West Coast.
Well, where's the closest to Australia? Is it West
like,
Coast? I'll
be
be
like
honest.
LA or something like that, yeah.
I'll be honest, I have no idea.
Based off.
Maps are tough, man. Whenever I look at a map, I only look at the United States because it's the best part of the map. So why would I look anywhere else?
True. Yeah, they're literally in they're in the wrong hemispheres on both sides of it. They're on the eastern hemisphere and they should be in the western one, and they're in the southern hemisphere.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Where Vendetta's from, Norway, if like the map didn't have, like if it didn't say Norway and he was like point to Norway, I would just be like. Okay, I would just be like, I know where it is, but I just don't care.
It's this big one in the middle of the continent.
Who cares about
Norway? Well, anyway, yeah, it's going to be probably a pretty rough match here for Winterfox overall. To get anything done, we'll hold back. We'll see what they can do. But
I want to see the French players play. I really don't know anything about them. I was just like, hey, I'm sure I'll play with them in rank S and whatnot and get a better opinion. I don't know how their English is. Sometimes French people, like, a lot of the time they speak perfect English, sometimes not so good, Yeah. So we'll see. I have no idea. No idea what to expect.
Yeah, so
it kind of just came out of left field, right? Like,
yeah, like no one was expecting that. Because
I had no idea.
The story was, right? Interestingly, the team name that they were on before this was called Rank S for some reason.
Really?
Yeah. So they were playing with.
That's actually hilarious.
And I think that team was going to become like Envy Academy or something like that. Envious Academy, which was the rumor. But then I guess either that fell through or they got a better offer from the Misfits organization, and then they decided to jump here instead.
So I wonder if it was the players' decisions to pick these guys up or the organization.
I don't know. That's a good question.
How did it go down?
That'd be one for...
I would be so pissed if I was a player and all of a sudden my organization just like, hey, we got these guys.
These two are putting them in.
Yeah. You're playing with these guys.
Submit all complaints to HR.
I would be so pissed. I'd be like, what?
All right, well, it looks like we're live now, folks, so we can jump back into the game and take a look at who's going to start off on top here. Winterfox or the Misfits. More than likely the Misfits, especially since they're starting on CT side, but we'll take a look and see. Maybe the pistol.
Devo Duvek. His name kind of reminds me of the Babadook. You ever see that movie?
I have. It's a very scary movie.
It's pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
The Babadook.
I watched that one by accident one night.
By accident?
Yeah, some of my roommates said it was more like a suspense film, and they tricked me into watching it because I hate scary movies.
Really?
Yeah. Hate scary movies. So, yeah, that wasn't fun. And this probably won't be too much fun either.
I actually just watched another scary movie last night.
Did you?
Autopsy of Jane Doe. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be the first kill for Winterfox here. Zeusy does get the headshot against Shazam as he overpeaks into the long house there. A little bit off new, getting caught, but Zeusy again still fragging, gets a second kill now. I think that's on to Sean out over here on the site. Finally, a response rolls in from the Misfits, but Zeusy again now getting himself a third kill. As they do push in towards A, that's full control for them. All of a sudden, the Misfits having to try and wrap over quickly to recover this, but they've only got 2 left. Amanek striking first out of the 2 new French players. He also picks up a second one, knocking out Zeusy now. That's been the big player so far from Winterfox, and as he pushes in, traded out by Apoc, Sick finds himself lost a little bit, so Imagine will close out and give Winterfox the pistol.
Yeah, I mean, Zeusy just running through the halls, able to catch Shazam, picks up that P2K, gets 3 impressive kills to start out, the pistol from Winterfox. I don't know. I feel like pistols and offing is a lot easier with that type of ping, but when you get to the rifles, you get to situations like this, even against pistols where they could kind of run at you. Just a completely different ballgame.
Yeah. What is their actual ping? Can we open up the score for a second? I haven't seen it. Yeah.
Look at Almanac. He has 150 ping.
So wait, so I guess he hasn't moved over yet? Devo Duvek definitely has, but I guess Amanek is still over in Europe somewhere?
Not as strong of a duo as we thought.
Apparently not. They're still just trialing him out.
What time is it in Australia?
It's like in the, I think it's like 10 a.m. or something like that. It's like somewhere like late morning, early afternoon.
Bright and early.
Yeah. Just wake you up with a match. Devo, nicely done, sneaking up from behind, takes out APOC, and that's the second kill. Is Sick also snuck a frag in here as well. Now the remaining 3 from Winterfox are trying to sneak around the wrap side. Zusi picking up the first kill, Offnu getting another one, but Sick trading onto Zusi as he was cut off by a smoke. So they're not going to be able to support him as well. Offnu just walks into his own death, and Sean picks up the second one as Misfits get the trade-off on their forced eco round and bring it up to 1-1.
Yeah, that push into Boiler was really nicely timed. Most people usually don't see him even go for Hulse control on rounds like this because of that, because of those close range angles with CZs and Mag 7s and whatnot. But as soon as that kill happened, the Boiler player went to trade that, and I believe that was Devo who went to Boiler and just shot him in the back of the head.
Yeah, so now in this third round here, some players from Winterfox deciding to force into it a bit heavily. APOC and Zusi specifically going for the Tech 9 armor pickups, but others, for the most part, just going for the pistols. So a little bit more preservative here. Not going to try to reforce into the situation and upset to take back control after they originally won out the pistol here. So just taking it nice and slow.
Do we know why they're back in Australia and New Zealand and whatnot, like during the season?
Winterfox?
Yeah.
Well, there's many a rumor about as to why that's.
But why they would just like randomly be there.
Oh, why they ended up there?
Yeah,
maybe
I
like
could understand why they might not be back.
I mean, maybe they had in their contracts for like a break or something like that. That they could go back just like visit family and whatnot during at one point in the season. That's my best guess. But no confirmed reason as to why that would happen. Sick gets himself a nice double though, countering out that early Hulse pressure from T-Ramp. More of it is going to roll, and they've already got a player in Boiler. Unfortunately, Raz just walks out into his own death there. And the last two, well, they'll try to, I imagine, push out from the Hulse here. They don't really have much else of a choice since they don't have any utility. But as soon as they roll out here, there are many players from Misfits waiting for them. Down goes Offnu, and in a moment, APOC will see if he can pick up a kill. Looking for it, but not going to happen. Devo Duvek shuts it down. It's a 5-man alive round for the Misfits.
Yeah, so like I said, no idea why they're back in Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, that's a little weird, actually. I imagine they were just to visit family or something like that, and then all of the other stuff happened there, so, with the org. And that's left them there currently. They have to play off like this. So they're going to start off from behind here, having to go into another eco round for the most part. Early mid-pressure, but nicely done. Double nades from Devo and Shazam. Knocks out Raz right at the beginning of the round. Doesn't hit anyone else, though. It's only on that one player. So all the other remaining 4 still going to remain at full HP. They've even got like aggressive banana control, too. So there's just not going to be a whole lot of options open up early on for Winterfox. They could catch Sick off guard a little bit with APOC pushing up. But
I mean, did you see how long it took him to shoot, like, when Sick peeked? That was like a full second delay where Sick was able to shoot, where normally he gets the first shot off in that situation.
Yep.
It's just...
Yeah. Any situation like that is 99% of the time going to go to Misfits, which is with a big differential. Yep. Except for Amanek, because he's also at 150 apparently. Yeah, I guess they just haven't moved him over yet.
Yeah, but still, if you're from France and they're playing on a West Coast server, I think your ping would normally be higher than that, though.
Yeah, but I mean, where else is he going to be playing from?
I don't know.
It's not like he's in like Iceland or something like that.
Maybe he has a layover and he had to...
Just hook up in the lounge real quick.
Because I thought if you played from like France, you have like 200 West Coast server. Like,
I mean, if you have good internet, you can probably get that. I would imagine. But things are going to start off a little bit more evenly here into the first gun round.
To New York, they only get like maybe 100.
Yeah, it's not that bad. I used to play with European friends all the time when I lived in Jersey still. So it was definitely playable there, but West Coast is pretty rough. Hey, I don't know. It's gotta be a West Coast server, really, considering where Misfits or where Winterfox are playing from, because I doubt they'd agree to anything else. Shazam, though, moving back in. He's gonna catch 2. Nicely swung around the corner. Has Pop Flash to assist on it as well. Imagine Patience does work out for him as he's able to catch a trade. However, it's gonna be the only trade they get, as both Shazam and Amanek are able to pick up the last 2 kills, giving Misfits a 4th.
What do you think round-wise we're looking at here from Winterfox?
I'd say, like, in this map, maybe like 3-4 at most.
Yeah, I was thinking. Everybody in the chat, give your predictions now. All right, we'll see who can get it right.
See who's right.
Oh, it's Denver.
Oh, it's Denver. Okay. I guess that makes sense then. That really does stink with the Omnic situation, since they probably had to like, okay, how's the best way we can work this out then? Because obviously Winterfox would have wanted as western bound of a server as possible. But Misfits also had that issue, so imagine that probably turned into quite a heated debate, actually.
I'm pretty sure Winterfox is probably like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
There's no way we're winning this.
So now Winterfox are trying to push pretty much just a direct B play here, nothing too crazy coming out of it. As we do have one sitting over in alt mid, probably going to transition into normal mid right now, but for the most part, just getting destroyed. Nice trade from Zeusy, again, wheeling the only AK, so having that little bit of firepower is certainly going to help. In comes Sick, very aggressively peeking out, but the shot's not really hitting in the way that he would have liked here. Imagine does get brought down low, and Shazam wrapping back in from CT picks up one. However, Sick is going to go down without a kill to his name. He's knocked back out. Devo Duvek, though, trading things back, taking down Imagine, and now it's just left to Apoc and Raz, who have an armor pistol pickup, and that's all they really do have. 2v2 even situation. It's not no sign of a plant coming in from Winterfox, though, and even when they do, positioning is already going to work out. Shazam struggling a little bit there with that spray, and we do see a trade from Raz. However, Devo Duvek sitting right behind him, is able to bring it back under the control of Misfits, and they will indeed push it up to 5.
Yeah, and just so everyone knows that's watching, when you see these players and sometimes you're like, where's their aim or something like that, what we're seeing isn't necessarily what they're seeing. So it's like none of this is a good representation of anybody's skill levels or anything like that. Like if you see somebody and it looks on GoTV like they're just whiffing super hard, on their screen it might not be like that at all because like of the ping.
Winterfox might just be like glitching around.
Yeah, but I'm not even talking about just Winterfox. Like on Misfits as well, it's the same way where you could be aimed right at them, but actually in the server they're not there, and then it's gonna make everybody look like a noob at times. You know, so if you see someone and you want to type NACS because it looks like they're just not even aimed close to them, it's just like the reality of the situation.
Yeah. Well, already into another gun round, and Winterfox down a player due to an early pickoff from Shazam in mid. Winterfox did not smoke that off or anything, so they walked right into their own doom at the beginning of this one. Now, they will still try to execute probably one boiler, one mid choke, and 2 out through the halls possibly, as they're trying to line up that flashbang on the outside right now. They've got a boosted up player on the Misfits side of things, this is what we're talking about now, over on top of the porch, so they actually should be able to restrict most of that pressure from the Rap side pretty well. It is going to be on the site, though, where they struggle a little bit, as that is currently wide open for the taking, but they're set up really well for a retake and to punish anybody trying to get out of the pitch. Shazam just going off. Easy double kill for him, putting up to 3 and a 4th through the smoke as well. Nicely played from Shazam. There's only 1 remaining. We'll see if he can get the ace. Possibly Sean might steal it from him, though, or Devo Duvek, who's still sitting up on top, and indeed, he's going to hit that kill. So Misfits, easy close out there, as Shazam ends up with a beautiful 4K.
Yeah, nice shots by Shazam against people that I think they shot a bullet back.
I don't think so either. Just goes off. There's 1, 2, and the third one's really nice, actually. Pop right through the smoke. As he takes them all down. Winterfox at this point, I am definitely on the full losing bonus. I think this is a straight
row.
Yeah, this is a straight run from Misfits, so they're on full losing bonus now. Not getting the plant there, though, is going to restrict utility for some players. Apoc and Raz, as you can see. Raz got the full op in armor, though, so he's not too worried about that. I mean, it's just full AKs for everybody else. And the plan, once again, very early on, pretty usual here, just spreading their players out. They took early car control. Misfits have been doing a good job of denying that, but for the first time in quite a while, it's actually going to be Winterfox that catch the first kill. Sick, a tad over aggressive and trying to move up to hold that long haul's control. Did not expect a peek from the window room. And off of that, he's going to lose his life.
Yeah, and Winterfox takes that 4v5. They immediately go back to B, and they're just going to 5-man it. Sean Gears and Spawn, Amanek, Oppie, and Spindle.
We're going to creep up and try to wrap around the corner here. Raz also waiting for that first peek, which he may get it too. Misfits have been playing really aggressive in this matchup, wanting to just try and take these players down right from the start of it. Amanek actually missing the first shot. Sean deploying out the smoke. Amanek did take down a player. Sean, however, is going to be caught off guard and spinning away, knocked out by Zeusy before the smoke can actually be deployed out there. Now it's just Amanek trying to hold this. Reinforcements on the way from both sides. Nice flashbang, but Amanek still hits the shot through the crypts, actually, knocking off half the HP. A little bit lower and he would have had the kill, but that's a nice shot from Imagine, right back through the crypts. It takes down Amanek, and they also have eliminated Shazam on that that banana flank as well. Now it's just Devo Duvek, and he's only got 10 HP. It's not worth going for this, so he's going to fall back to save and let Winterfox pick up a second round.
Yeah, immediately Winterfox recognizes that he is going to save. One player is already on the hunt. Going up middle is How do you say his name, Blue? Devaduvek?
Devaduvek, yeah.
Okay.
That's. I haven't heard a better interpretation anyway.
Just gonna keep calling him the Babadook.
Not sure if he'd like that.
It's a pretty good movie.
It is. I don't know if you want to be called that thing though.
Why?
It's like a really creepy character.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
Scared to play against him.
I guess. I don't know. Would you want to be like? Would you want?
All right, new question for you.
Whoa.
Who ends up with more? Winterfox's rounds versus SKR's frag count? Right now they're tied, 2-2.
Wait, what is this?
Who's gonna have more? SKR's with his frag count? Oh man, now he's
Got
beating
one.
him. Or Winterfox rounds wise.
I'd say Sean personally.
You think so? But he's playing so passive. Everybody else is just
Yeah.
kind of pushing him, like Six just pushing hulls every round. So you might just never be able to see any action.
Yeah, I'd say he has more kills than Winterfox gets rounds.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet.
Judging by the amount of stuff Winterfox are getting done.
Yeah.
For the most part, like Winterfox, obviously the first round of pistol round, right? You've got the interp helping you out a little bit there, given that nice 3K. I think it was Zusi that got that. So that helps them out there. And then the only other round they won is really, it starts off because like Sick gets a little bit over aggressive in the start and they kill an extra player at the beginning there. So finding some good stuff off of that. But when, you know, Misfits haven't overplayed and they've played smart, for the most part, it's been played out pretty well. And it's been pretty quick rounds in the favor of Misfits. So now we are going to see Winterfox, after sending a lot of pressure over there towards mid, they do decide to instead send the remaining 3 up towards Ivy. There's already 2 prep for this one, though. Sean up on top of the barrels. Amanek going to be spotting this from behind the crypts there. Smoke goes out. That'll be a little bit too late. They're still going to just walk through that, but nobody's paying attention to this boost up. So Sean gets a nice double. Amanek seals the 3rd. And indeed, Misfits end up with their 7th round, resetting the losing bonus for Winterfox. Now, probably could force into this one, but after that, they'll be broke.
Yeah, not looking good from Winterfox.
Damn. Just 2 nades right to the face. And goodbye right at the start. So not the way they wanted that one to work out. Yeah, and Winterfox did force into this round. So we've got the 2 players that were a little bit lower on cash with the pistol upgrades. But often you imagine Zusi are still going to have AKs. This is the last draw, though. And again, Shazam just continues to hit these kills from mid. Nobody's able to challenge him ever successfully. Another double kill to start the round off. He's racking up the frags big time right now. Sick is actually in this aggressive spot, which did cost him last time, but he's backing up much more. He's backing up much earlier now, before 8buck even gets into that window spot, so he should be safe. We'll see Reaper's just a little bit too early, but he doesn't even do that. Just hangs back, promptly smokes it back off. And we'll slowly wait for the push to roll back in. Shazam finally actually missing the Q. However, 2 trades do come in from the CT side immediately afterwards. And Sick finally pushing forward. Gets the 2nd kill on this round as they claim themselves an 8th. And that will completely break the T-sided money as they're back down onto pretty much just a full save here. Maybe a couple 50-50s, but that's really all you're going to see. Misfits not really struggling on their own cash. Devaduvek's almost max money. Same with Sean. A little bit lower for like Sick, and I think one other player, Shazam, probably a little bit lower off since he's usually the point man, so ends up getting traded more times than not on the rest of his team. But other than that, it's been really, really clean here from the Misfits. And Shazam actually doesn't get hit with the flashbang this time, so we won't see one of those early picks. They're trying to just bum rush it up through mid and seeing if they can make their way in here. The Molotov and the HE grenades doing so much damage, though. 2 players already done the half. There's one from Shazam, peeking into another, misses that shot, so the trade will roll in. But now Sean's pushing back, and they all halted here. However, Sean gave himself away a little bit too early, but now pushing back in, only gets one before being traded out. Same story for Amanek, as he's going to go down to Raz. So a 2v2 is what we're left with. Both of the remaining CT sitting on A. However, they're racing up Banana. So while they may not be able to stop them from planting the bomb, they're very quickly going to be able to set up for a retake over on Banana there. Devaduvek already got himself up Banana, up to the car position, wrapping back out. And like I said, he is going to miss the Q a little bit, but actually I think he can stop the plant, and there you go. Just a 1-tap to the head of Imagine will take him down. Now leaving only Raz alive here to try and clutch this. A minute left on the clock, so obviously plenty of time to try and do this, but the odds very much set against him. Only 1 flashbang remaining. He does try to throw it off there, possibly to make it look like he's rotating, but gets aggressive anyway. And that's where Devaduvek is going to shut it down, giving another one to the Misfits.
Yeah, good recognition from Misfits to just rotate as fast as possible. It's a flank B by Duvek going with him as well. Winterfox, after they got those 2 B players, just immediately runs towards B, and they actually would have got the bomb down, but as they started running towards B, they forgot the bomb. Then they had to go back and get it, and it wasted like 3 seconds on that plant. So if they were able to, you know, just pick the bomb up immediately, they would have been able to plant the bomb and get in safe spots before that flank happened.
Yeah, and now Winterfox down again here, just buying up, just forcing into it, it seems like, in almost every single round. And this one is going to be a massacre. Offnu got one up to Duvek, I think, kind of finishing off some damage that was put on by Zusi. But
as soon as I said that, Sean's gotten like 10 kills.
Well, it seems like I'm looking in good regards right now.
Yeah. Good thing I'm not a betting man. I would never wager anything on anything. Definitely not.
So yeah, Misfits with a strong lead heading into these last few rounds. Winterfox finally getting enough cash built up here on the losing bonus to be able to buy in with AKs. But once more, you know, we've got to be able to make that entry work for them at the start. And for the most part, it's been really unsuccessful, trading up maybe 1 or 2 kills at most. Not really coming in clean on a lot of these rounds to be able to close out. It's just like, I think that's the 3rd Molly they threw in like 5 seconds on Banana over here. So while APOC is going to be able to get a kill on the Sick, just traded back out by Sean. He's actually kind of stuck here now that everything's gone away, but still kind of wanted to take the battle there for a second against Zusi. Finally does give up. Shazam wrapping in, but he didn't realize that there was a player that got themselves over there behind the Hebra. He might have seen it now, though, on peeking out, and he definitely sees it with the jump, as he does take down Imagine first off. Gets the second one onto APOC as he catches him peeking out. 2 more are going to push into his quarters over here, as he still holds, patiently waiting to see if anybody's going to go towards balcony. Amanek actually swinging back in here is going to seal the deal on these last 2 players. And again, pushing Misfits even more forward here. 11-2 as we head into the last 2 rounds and a half.
Yeah, now Misfits kind of understands just exactly the advantage that they have. Getting aggressive on multiple areas of the map. Shazam just unkillable around that hay barrel. Nobody coming out halls to you know, shoot him in the side or anything like that.
Yeah, Winterfox really no reason to save on these. It looks like they just go for the buy again. Tech 9 armor for everybody else as they're going to buy into it with full utility too. APOC gets himself the only AK for the team. Trying to move in for fast pulse control. Sick actually almost being found out early on there, but hidden behind the wall. Those wall bangs aren't really going to do much damage. You can see only 11 total taken. Now Shazam's back in the action here. Sick spotted, I think. Oh, okay. Imagine just sneaks one off there as he suddenly finds Sick. So a bit awkward in that respect, but thankfully Devo is also here. Shazam, again, another multi-frag round for him, picking up 2 once more.
Pretty quick half blue.
Yeah, I'd say so. That's pretty quick. It's pretty accurate.
we need like timers. Like we have all the normal stats.
Yeah.
What is the fastest match so far that has been completed in Pro League?
I think this one's on track to be it.
Definitely wasn't that Cloud9 versus Misfits match. Definitely wasn't that a few weeks back.
I don't know. I think the longest one might have been the Selfless versus Immortals one. I think it was Selfless.
What? No, the Cloud9 versus Misfits one was.
Well, yeah, that one had other circumstances.
Talking about without technical.
Yeah, without like not counting pause time and like server resets.
How long was that one?
That one was the one that like Immortals should have just kind of crushed, but it turned out to be like way longer than expected. Like the game kind of got dragged out really long. I'm pretty sure that it was Immortals playing Selfless in that game. I can't remember exactly, but. After it did look like Winterfox were going to make some traction here for the most part, they've been countered back out. Misfits of a 3v1. Raz has already given himself away in terms of his positioning. Try to flash back out here. He actually does find Duvek there. Catches him the flash. Duvek reacts. It's going to open up the site, allowing him to go for the plant. Amanek wrapping back in, but actually Raz predicts that as well. Nicely done as he'll pick up that kill. Now bringing this back down to a 1v1. Still going for these fake plants, though, and that's going to let Sean Garris close the gap a little bit. However, look at this from Raz. He's getting actually rather aggressive, creeping up. The timing on this one won't work out, unfortunately, as Sean has already wrapped all the way around the arch side. They are playing out of a lengthy game of sort of ring around the rosy at this point, but as Raz has escaped to check these halls, the problem is he's giving site control back over to Sean, and when he does need to jump back out to put the bomb on the ground, Sean should be able to read that. It may end up in an open battle right over here on the balcony, depending on what Sean wants to do, but he's a little bit confused himself, trying to figure out exactly the path that Raz took. As he waits it out that the smoke rolls in, now he knows for sure he's still stuck here. He won't be able to push back in, and actually, it looks like he's just going to go for it here. Takes the battle versus Raps, and he wins it. So, in that respect...
Walking through a smoke like that. probably with even ping, Raz usually does get that kill, I would imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. But it goes by the way of the Misfits in this match. Obviously, the circumstances a little bit unfortunate here, but Misfits do indeed walk away with a giant advantage coming off of the first half. 13-2 is going to be our scoreline. Stick around for the second half, folks, coming up in just a moment.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Legion Lenovo, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
And we're back, folks. It's Misfits up. That's pretty much everyone expected. 13-2 here now against Winterfox, who, once again, in case anyone is just joining us and is unfamiliar with the circumstances, are unfortunately playing from Oceania at the moment, so it's a little bit tough for them to make the impact since most of them are playing with 200 or more ping in the server.
Just a fantastic matchup we got here, Blue.
Yeah, and also someone from Misfits hasn't moved from Europe yet since he's a French player, so he's also got 150 ping.
So let's go over, okay. In Pro League, as we see this pistol around, Misfits just running over B. Offnu going to be, I'll say it next round.
All right, Offnu picking up one. We'll see if the pistols hold strong enough here. Offnu actually, it's a little bit too many bullets for him to bite out back against, but Zusi just walks right up. Casual headshot for him, trying to go for another one, but traded back up by Amanek. Dubek picking up one more and proceeding forward to grab a second, as it's left to Imagine now to clutch at a 1v3. Resmoke just being applied over towards CT, so he's got another good 30 seconds or so until that starts to fade away. Not a whole lot that Imagine can really work with. Sitting back outside of the CT entrance towards the church there, just to kind of pray and hope that someone gets over-aggressive to hunt him down, but it does not appear as though that's going to happen. All of Misfits secured positions on the back site there, over towards Emo, New Box, and I think the Jesus Pole sitting right outside of it as well. So yeah, they're all going to be pretty safely tucked away, and Shazam, it's a nice shot jumping up from New Box to close it out. 14-2, as it is appearing as though Misfits may get a quick closeout on this map, unless they get ecoed here.
Yeah, so NA Pro League, just like a huge melting pot, right? So we have SK, Brazilian, Cloud9, All-American, All-Canadian, Liquid, All-American, All-Canadian, Immortals, Brazilian, NRG, All-American, Canadian, except for one from Mexico, but still all North American.
Still North American.
Yeah. Renegades, obviously Australian. Well, actually, they have Nifty now, too, right?
Yeah.
So one NA player, I guess. Luminosity, Brazilian. Optic, one Spaniard. COG, one Australian. Misfits, two French players now. Complexity, two British players. Rush, All-American, Winterfox, New Zealand, Australia, and the Foundation, who we have no idea what's going on with them, but I'm pretty sure they're All-American. No, ZQK from Brazil.
Yep, that's true. So how many teams are just based out of North American players at this point?
NRG, Liquid, Cloud9.
I think the Foundation.
Rush.
No, the Foundation is it? We just discussed.
Yeah, and Rush.
So is it 5?
Rush.
5 or 4?
Wait, let me do it again. Cloud9, Liquid, NRG, and Rush, right?
Yeah.
So 4.
So 4. So that's less than
a third.
That's less than a third of the league. That's all based on North American players at this point.
That's pretty crazy.
Granted, a lot of those teams are like one player, but still.
But it's just like a huge melting pot. It's actually, I mean, I enjoy it. I like it.
Yeah.
I think as long as you speak English, you could, or, you know, just a common language in general, right?
Yeah.
But generally it's going to be English because it's the most common language. As long as you can all speak a common language, you should all play together. And you can. And those are all options that should be open.
Well, they're going to be moving in. Winterfox actually having a good chance to possibly try and hold back off here, but the lag definitely not helping Raz in that situation there, as it is brought down to just 2. Now 1, Offnu left alone, really hunting for that headshot on Amanek. Definitely some interp going on there, as he does hit the kill against Amanek to take him out. But that's really all he's going to be able to accomplish now that they know where he's playing from. It's not like he's got a gun close range that he could try to pick up here and clutch this one out with. He's also got, you know, 13 bullets left. It's really just this clip that's left over. After he uses that, he is done for as he does move in. Just knocked out by Sean, though, and that's going to push Misfits up to 15.
I mean, I think it's a really good thing. Like, I mean, look at this guy's 20-5 right now. But picking up players from other countries and whatnot, and then, you know, kind of migrating them over, and then they play with you. A lot of these players are going to be playing 24/7. They're going to really try to make it work because, I mean, they're leaving their home country, and things like that. Like,
it's a big commitment.
Oh yeah, I mean, they generally play like insane amounts of CS because, let's be real, you move somewhere, you don't have any friends there generally, right? You just you know, you just play Counter-Strike all day.
Yeah. So Zusi actually picking off quite a few nice shots right at the beginning here. Tag Sick, which is now going to be killed by Apoc's nade. It works out really well. And he also headshots Devo Duvek and peeking out through the window up on top of Boiler there. So really good opener actually from Zusi here and following it through Apoc as well. Now the trade comes in though, as Amanek got aggressive, pushed into T-Apps and got himself a kill against Imagine here. So they're kind of going to be stuck a little bit time being, but Misfits still going to try to work their way through. Up through B. Nice double peek actually catches them. 2 more kills off of Apoc's end. He's up to 3 now in this round. Finally knocked out by Amanek. Unfortunately, he is the only one remaining in a 1v2 and he only has 3 HP. So Raz moves in. That's actually really long range. But with the Nova, you know, only 3 damage needed. He is going to finish him off and give Winterfox their 3rd round. We get a nice view of this shot again. It just takes down Devo Duvek, and he had tagged 1 player before that as well. So a good start to the round, good follow through from Apoc as he gets the nade kill, finishing off the player that was tagged by the scout, and then the double kill right after that as well, since they double peeked. And they caught the Misfits guys off guard. And off of that, obviously Misfits, you know, they have like a huge lead. They're not in any rush to force into this one to end it so quickly. So they do just light by for the most part into this round, and Offnu and Apoc just going right off. Mainly Apoc there, as you can see. He did pick up 1 before being traded back out. Offnu's ready for the remaining players to push back in, and even reads Sean going to that corner through the smoke as well. Great stuff from him. As it's left to Shazam, more than likely we're going to be seeing a 4th come up on the board here from Winterfox. Shazam pulls off some incredible play, which is definitely not going to happen. Zusi taking him down. Winterfox pushing even more forward now. Still a long road to climb. They need to do 11 rounds straight to be able to take this to OT and then win out the remaining 4 from there. Misfits in the meantime. Still no reason to worry here. They saved up on that last round. They're going to buy into it here. It is a little bit forced, as we can see. The utility is really light actually for Misfits. They get 3 smokes. Like, I think 3 or 4 flashbangs overall, and then 1 Molotov trying he's sitting over there on Devo Duvek. So they're actually going to be quite light bot, but Apoc taking a big risk going in that push there. Thankfully, he only loses 20 damage in the process. As he does swing back down, he's got a chance to possibly find another kill here against Dominic, and he hits it. So that's early advantage going to Winterfox once more here. The guys on Banana are going to try to change that since there was some aggression being set out by the Winterfox camp. However, that's now deteriorated. Raz at the very least just waiting for the smoke to fade away on the half wall there. Molotov going, but it's not really going to restrict Sean all that much. Raz just continuing to push back out too, but checking in the wrong position. That's going to allow for Sean Garris to pick up the kill against Raz. A second one, maybe no. Offnu will be there to trade it back out. Possibly pick up a second. Gets too greedy and peeking back out for it though, and that is where Sick is going to punish, evening us back out in with 3v3. A lot of control for the Misfits here, just needing to capitalize on it and push it into a site now. So we can see Apoc trying to move back in. Some really aggressive stuff continuing to be the pattern here for Winterfox as they look for any advantage they can steal out of the hands of Misfits, and they may get one right here if Apoc holds this position and we don't see a player re-entering through the boiler. He does realize just how exposed he is from that spot, though, and backs up at the last moment. Zusi also getting pushed out of the long haul. They definitely know that something's going on over at A, but they have not yet pulled Imagine off of the B bomb site. He still sits over here towards like the entrance of the church, which is going to be a little bit of a quicker rotate, but still very far away. Both these guys go down without any good trade. Zusi first up to bat, nicely found from Devoduvek. Very low, however, APOC there for the trade, but not there for more than that. Shazam is going to immediately take him back down. 20 seconds remaining to get this plant. Well, with the smoke over here on the Moto side, it should give them plenty of room to be able to go for that, and I think they just re-smoked it as well. Imagine may just decide to push through that, however, as things are looking quite dim for him and the rest of his team as he moves in, catches that first kill, and actually Devoduvek is incredibly low, only sitting down at 9 HP. This is really a clutchable situation for him. Really only needs to hit one more bullet, but he cannot do it. Devoduvek ends up winning the clutch with the headshot there, and that will indeed close out this match in the favor of the Misfits as they take it 16-4.
Yeah, pretty easy, kind of, you know, what we thought. Just Winterfox. I mean, it's just almost impossible for them to really compete at this level with that type of ping. But the new pickups, I mean, they look good there. I mean, what else can you really say, though? We'll see. I mean, with the Misfits team as a whole, I think was really poorly put together when they actually did have relics and twists. Not because, like, they aren't good players. It's just because they had no aggressive players. Just none. Like, nobody who you could just flash into a site and create space for anybody else. Just all very slow, very like, I want to be the person that trades the kill. You are the one that dies first type players, you know? So we'll see. Maybe these French players are a bit more aggressive and gives them more, you know, what they need to succeed. Well,
without wasting any more time, let's bring in the analysts now and get their thoughts on how this first map went. Again, guys, pretty much as we expected things to go.
Should
there,
be great analysis segment. Vendetta, what do you got? What do you got over there?
I mean, well, what can you say about that one, really? Well,
I mean, the Crickets are they're out here.
Yeah, no, what team's playing with 200 ping, right? I think Imagine actually at some point was playing at 250 ping, you know, just to up the ante just a little bit more.
I think all in all, you have to look at this as a circumstantial type thing.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, granted, Winterfox wasn't doing too great while they were here stateside or in the beginning of the season up to the point where they went home.
Yeah, no.
But it would have been a much closer pound-for-pound fight had they also been in the same continent, to say the least.
It definitely would have helped their case a little bit. But I guess if you're Amanek and Devoduvek, you're feeling pretty good about yourself, right? Your first debut game for your new team, you kind of get to just shoot targets that don't really shoot back at you for the better part of it. It's a nice way of, you know, easing into things.
Gives a whole new definition to the term stat pad, I think.
Yeah.
Because really and truly the numbers just ran up there. And we saw that, you know, they, granted with all things accounted for, they were good.
Yeah, no, I did. It's like we saw in the, you know, the B-roll that we showed before the game started. There's definitely nothing wrong with their individual skill in terms of just how solid their aim is. You saw Amanek being able to, well, and you have to mention the fact that Amanek is not in NA apparently yet. It's only Devoduvek who's gotten the flight ticket.
Well, Devoduvek coming in with that 117 ADR, albeit, you know, we have to put an asterisk next to this.
It is,
one because it's
it
not
is a bit of a circumstantial stat.
It's not a pretty one. And while I feel for the Winterfox guys finding themselves in that situation, I mean, these should be a quick 2-0 in succession in terms of the entire doubleheader in favor of the Misfits.
Yeah, no, it definitely should be. But for us, we kind of just have to look at how well the new additions to the Misfits teams are doing. And again, one of the big points that Sam mentioned, the fact that we haven't necessarily seen the Misfits team have clear roles on their side. And, you know, with the old lineup, they didn't really have a dedicated entry fragger. Maybe they can get one of the Frenchies to be crazy enough to run him first each and every time now.
I would say that there's a chance, but, you know, I think we saw this one went. We'll see how the next one goes. We're going to go to Mirage when we come back from this next break. So make sure you don't go anywhere. It's round 2 of Winterfox versus Misfits and the turmoil that is Lag Hill.